Number 184 of Genius Take the Wheel, Genius on the Street edition. And do you hear all of those horns going off? Well, there are people here stuck in traffic, and they think by honking the horn that they're going to move quicker than if they don't honk the horn. But the secret is the horn doesn't actually get anybody moving any quicker. It only pisses people off. So the people who are pissed off honk their horn, they piss everybody else ahead of them that can't go anywhere, and then they don't move. So the person that was pissed off and started to honk their horn is now more pissed off because the person in front of them is not moving. And the reason why the person in front of them is not moving is because they can't, because they're stuck in heavy traffic. So Mrs. Evil is actually supposed to pick me up, but I got to the gym late and I messed everything up. So I was like, you know what? You don't join the traffic that I'm walking past right now. Don't do that. Nope. What you're going to do instead is you're going to keep driving where you're driving and I'll beat my feet. So that's what I'm doing. Beating my feet on the streets of New York. The last time I had a genius beat your feet type stream was in London in April. So that's something. Shout out to anybody who might be watching this who has trained at Muscle Work Gym in London, England. But here I'm in Times Square area and the traffic is back so fuck up. Let me tell you, the traffic is bad. Now I am walking against traffic right now, but I can tell you that if I were walking with the traffic, I would be walking faster than these cars. And the reason why that is, uh, the reason why that is noteworthy is because I just left the gym after my leg workout, and my legs are very tired. So I'm walking very slow, and I'm still walking faster than the traffic. So I'm actually not mad that I was not able to drive in today, and I'll probably be home before I know it anyway. The weather's not as bad as it was earlier in the day. Uh, obviously it's very foggy. That's for Mrs. Evil. The fog. It's a very soggy day here in New York City. Uh, but uh, it's not like raining hard like it was before. It's like a little bit of a sprinkle in the air, gets a little dry, a little sprinkle. So walking home is not so bad. So that's what I'm gonna do. Leg day. Mostly ups, a possible down today. Uh, I did the hack squat today, and I was thinking that maybe I should do 3 sets of three because it went up to 225. And as you guys who are following me know, I have had some problems with with my quad and trying to rehab it, trying to be smart about rehabbing my quad. So uh I decided I was going to do maybe 3 sets of three or maybe 5 sets of three reps at 225 on the hack. And instead, I think I called an audible pretty much in the middle of a set because I really didn't feel bad at all during my first working set at 225. So right after the third rep, I said, fuck it, let me just do these two reps right here, and I just went on to complete the set of five. But then I knew that I was kind of running out of time because the gym was going to close, so I limited it to uh, three sets of five at 225. I did use the weight belt, but I realized afterwards that I didn't need it. So I may not use the weight belt next time when I try for 25 reps next week at 225. But other than that, like, you know, uh, it felt mostly decent. I did feel something a little strange in my left quad tendon. I did feel something a little strange, but uh, uh, it was only like almost like a quick electrical jolt that just kind of lit up a few times and then kind of went away. So I feel okay, even though my legs are tired. After that, I did the leg curl at 150 pounds, 5 by 5. Just trying to get good squeeze, good stretch, and that worked out pretty well on the hamstring curl. Obviously, I want to try to prime my hamstrings for heavier duty work on the deadlift on Saturdays. I'm actually thinking, uh, I'm wondering if I should do my deadlift first on Saturday or Sunday, whenever I choose to go. I'm wondering if I should do the deadlift first and then the squat, because I normally do my deadlift after the squat. So I'm already kind of tired when I start the deadlift. And I've still been making good gains in the deadlift, but I think I've been kind of cutting myself off from more progress because I always do the squat first and the deadlift last. But the deadlift is a stronger lift for me, and I definitely don't want to try to squat tired. So I'm really not sure how I want to go about it, but I guess I'll see. Maybe I'll just cut down to 2 quad days a week, and then instead of doing 3 quad days a week and one of them with the deadlift. So I've got options, but I definitely need to revisit my program so that I can recover better and get better gains and not have to worry about pains and aches and injuries. So, I was very fortunate to be able to work today. I know a lot of people don't like to work on this event day, but I don't really get involved with all of the seasons, whatever. I uh, I just kind of do my own thing and hope that people still want to train during this time of the year. And so I'm thankful when people don't avoid training and they keep training so I can keep working. That's what I am thankful for. So I did get a session in with a client today. Traffic wasn't bad going to that client or going home from that client. So that was pretty cool. But I went in, I got the leg day done. I'm very happy with that. And I'm probably going to go now to the apartment building gym and I'm going to hit my upper chest day. And the reason why I'm going to be able to do that is because it seems like my apartment building is almost empty. So it's kind of funny to me. Uh, when I was growing up, you saw a lot of people on the block. You saw a lot of people on the block uh, because uh, everybody had the day off. But when you live around rich people like I do, when the holidays come, the building is empty because they're all are traveling somewhere, probably in business class halfway around the world to get away from the city, the last, week of uh, November, and then a month later at the end of December. So, it's actually, pretty cool. I think when I go to the gym today, especially during this time of the day when people are thinking about being gluttonous right now, I am basically going to have a private gym that I can train in and hit my upper chest really nice. Uh, uh, 4 days ago, actually 2 days ago, when I hit shoulders, the shoulder workout went much better than I expected because I was starting to have a little bit of discomfort in my right shoulder. But that actually went pretty good. And so now I got to do my incline press, which I can do by myself. My last flat press was amazing, and I had a really, really nice pump on Sunday. So I'm going to try to maybe go to like 205 or 215 on the incline for a few sets of five. They get some uh volume work done, and then I'm probably going to do use the titty clapper machine, the pec deck, the chest fly machine. Maybe do a little bit of triceps to go home, get my protein shake in, get my lunch in, pretend to be a social human being for Mrs. Evil's mom and grandma for a little while, and then sequester myself in my room because I'm looking forward to sitting on my bed and doing absolutely nothing while I recover from these gains that I'm about to earn. So I already earned some gains. Now I'm doing a little bit of impromptu cardio. And when I get back to the building, I'm going to go back and hit my chest as hard as I can so that I can get the top of my chest to bulge out of all my shirts because that's what I need out of life. I need a large chest. So I got to work for it. So, for me, like I've been working with clients for years, and the clients are always looking for excuses to overeat and to not train because of a time we're supposed to be acknowledging the virtue of gratitude. But instead, people want to be lazy and gluttonous. And it kind of makes me a little sad, but also a little confused because my clients pay me a lot of money to help them reach their goals. And some people can undo weeks of progress in just one day. They can undo weeks of progress in just one day. And it's like, you paid me thousands of dollars to guide you through all of this so you could throw it away on one day. I don't get it. I'll never get it. And, people say, hey, you are, with your family and you're supposed to have fun. Yeah, you could be with your family and have fun, but do you have to overeat by 800 to 1600 calories? Is that necessary? I just I don't see the point in it for people who pay me as much as they pay me to help them develop good habits and to be healthy. But I had one of the clients show up today and he performed exemplary today. It is a beautiful thing. Uh, I've been really trying to focus very hard on finding new ways to help my clients move better so that they can really get the most out of our training to really hit those target muscles the way they intend to, or the way that I intend them to. I want people to know their bodies, to be in tune with them, to be able to feel what they're doing instead of just paying attention to what it looks like. And so I've been doing, different things to improve my coaching. And I saw the fruits of that labor today. So that was really good. And, I trained myself today working on uh, isolating my left leg for better activation. That's going okay. And now I'm going to hit these titty tops with this incline bench. And so I guess it's okay that I don't have to worry about evening clients tonight, but I would rather people show up and train. But, some people think that I'm a little bit obsessive about what I do. But, I just have a lot of pride in what I do and what I try to help my clients, uh, what I try to help them achieve. But anyway, uh, I do thank you guys for taking this walk with me. This is not so bad taking these walks. I did see this one dude in the gym today, and I kind of felt bad for him. He looked like a young kid, probably in his early 20s, I'd say. I felt bad for him because I looked at him and his physique is definitely really good, extraordinary V taper. But then when you start to actually pick apart his physique, you start to see that there are a lot of problems. Most notably, that even though he has a very muscular, aesthetic upper back, his back is not involved in stabilizing his posture at all. Shoulders are rolled super forward, but aesthetically, he's getting what he wants out of it. But the gym was starting to close, and guys were starting to sense that the gym was closing. So a couple of guys wanted to take uh, glamour shots in the mirror, and this guy, this young Asian guy, he takes his shirt off. And as soon as he peels his shirt off, I realize that the dude has been blasting hella gear. Like I looked at him and I compared myself to him because you can't help but compare yourself to other guys in the gym when you train as hard as I do. You just can't help it. You do feel the need, like, damn, like, am I working hard enough? That guy looks better than me, right? But I will tell you that if you've ever heard of you ever heard Derek from More Plates, More Dates talk about some of the things of somebody who has eaten a ton of tremboloni sandwiches. Hey, Mr. Oh, what's up? Do you ever like the messages that they send you are in braille and the braille is on their back. This dude's acne on his back was in 4 dimensions. And hey, good, you got home. And I actually am very close to home too. So it's a good thing you didn't stop to pick me up, I guess. But anyway, this dude, uh he's so proud of his physique, but it doesn't really seem like he really cares about the long-term damage he's doing to his body. And it reaffirmed another lesson as a bodybuilder that uh you really are competing with yourself because you go in the gym and you work hard and you see somebody that has a comparable physique or a better physique than you do, and then you find out that they are blasting gear and taking shortcuts. And then you have to kind of put it in its proper perspective. And it's like, I look comparable to that guy. The dude is half my age. I look comparable to him. And uh, I'm not blasting gear. I'm not on any gear at all. And one of the sad parts is that when you see a guy who's in his early to mid 20s, dude, your testosterone production is so high. You don't need steroids when you're 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, 25. You don't need to do steroids, you know? Like even me, my endogenous testosterone production is supposed to fall off. Well, it's supposed to diminish quickly when you hit 30 and then fall off a cliff at age 40. And I have the best physique that I've ever had at age 41. Now, I do have to own up to the fact that I do have some pretty good genetics when it comes to bodybuilding aesthetics. But, you know, without the hard work, you couldn't actually see any of it. So, to see a young guy who's just kind of like desperate to see muscle gains and he's willing to fuck up his testosterone production to get gains that, if we're being real, you could probably get comparable results or just, results that are just under that now if he never started taking steroids to begin with. And he wouldn't have to worry about any of the contraindications that will pop up later in life that will mess up all types of things in his body. I mean, you can already tell that he had a pretty adverse reaction by the massive amounts of three-dimensional back knee that he has. It was awful to look at. And so, you know, like, dude, you could have gotten those gains, man. You're young enough. You just needed to train hard. And you see a lot of young guys taking shortcuts. And I really hate to see it. Uh, if you guys would have looked at my body a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you would think that I was on steroids. I've had a bunch of people ask me if I'm on gear. And the only thing that I needed to do to get to where I'm at now is to train really hard almost every day. That's all I needed to do. I didn't need to take steroids, you know? So, when you're in the gym and you're, looking around and you're judging yourself by somebody else's physique, just remember that you don't know what shortcuts they might be taking to get to where they are. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so uh, you just keep running your race. Don't let what you see in the gym make you feel bad about where you're at. Use it as motivation to push harder because if you look at a guy physique in the gym and you're like, damn, I want to look like that, whether he is or isn't on steroids, you can get gains approaching what they got if you just stay the course and train hard every day. You don't have to cut any corners, you know, you don't have to. And I'm a hard gainer. I've struggled to put on size uh, and weight my whole life. And then I just decided to not make any excuses anymore and train hard. Train until the muscle doesn't want to move anymore. And then get a little bit of extra rest and then keep training. And so that's all I needed to do, guys. Don't judge yourself for what somebody else has in the gym that you don't have. Just train hard. You train harder, you train smarter. Catherine Anna Hauserman, how are you doing today? Thank you for coming through the stream today. Just train hard, train smart, pay attention to exercise scientists that understand kinesiology and proper movement patterns. Just do that. I'm telling you, you will get a massive amount of gains over time if you stay the course. You know, you're going to see a lot of guys that say, "Hey, I've only been training for X amount of time, and look at what I got." Well, look at all of the fucking shit you pumped your body up with that you're going to pay for. If not now, you're going to pay for later. You know, I looked at that kid, and the first thing that I saw before he took his shirt off was his horrible posture. And he doesn't understand that his horrible posture actually makes his chest look smaller. And so, he's rolling his shoulder over on every movement I saw him do. So he is going to be at risk for rotator cuff injury. Now, when I saw the massive amounts of three-dimensional back knee that he had, to know that he's on steroids, uh, uh, I know that his risks for soft tissue injury are even higher. They're even higher than somebody like me because when you get on anabolic steroids, it actually makes uh hey Sedismus, how you doing? When you use anabolic steroids, it makes the muscle belly that you're targeting stronger. It allows you to produce more force. But do you know what it doesn't make stronger? Your tendons and ligaments. They don't get stronger. So I've been telling you guys about my struggles trying to rehab from this left uh, quad tendinosis problem. And I was pushing too hard. And so I was getting stronger and building more muscle, but my connective tissue was not recovering. And that's how I ended up with this knee issue. Now imagine if I was on steroids, I would have actually torn the quad and I would be out of commission for months. So I want to tell you guys that it is really not a good idea to get on gear thinking that you're going to get a whole bunch of muscle. You're going to end up with an injury that could have been avoided. It's just not worth it. You know, I swear to you, it's not worth it. You might be able to put some pictures on Narcigram, but time flies very quickly. And if you end up injuring yourself and you're not able to train anymore, You're gonna have a whole bunch of outdated photos on Instagram trying to impress the girlies, and then they meet you in person and you're all deflated because you can't run gear anymore because you're injured and you can't train and you lose all your gains. I mean, what's the point of all of that? Oh, and if they want to sleep with you because of the muscle that you have and your fucking junk doesn't work, I mean, what's the point in that? So, guys, stay natural. You don't have to use steroids to get gains. Uh, I'm a hard gainer and I'm able to do it. Most of you are going to be able to get really good gains without ever eating any tremboloni sandwiches, injecting testosterone, or any of those other combinations of complexes that people take in uh, through needles or through orals. You don't need it. I'm telling you. So exactly, traditionalist, deflated, and your fuck gear will be broken while you're on gear. You don't need steroids, people. You just need to train hard every day. So I'm an old man, still getting gains when my testosterone production is supposed to be cratering. So you can see all the gray hair I have, right? So believe you me, you guys can do it. Just don't judge yourself harshly, thinking that somebody else is doing better than you because they might have more than you. Sometimes you might see somebody driving in a nice car, and then you're thinking that you're a loser because you're driving an old car. But that's not the case because we don't know what they had to do to get that car. We don't know how long they had to toil and save to get it, or you don't know what kind of shortcuts they took to get something that they hadn't quite earned. So I remember during the Rona lockdowns, there was a bunch of women telling guys to get their money up because there were a bunch of guys on Narsagram flaunting new Lamborghinis all over Florida and New York. Everybody's got a Lamborghini when nobody's able to go to work. How the fuck does that work? Right? And so you get these people thinking, oh, look at everybody that is not riding around in a Lamborghini is broke. And it's like, no, they're not broke. Is that they didn't get involved in a PPP loan scam, right? Like, I know you guys know about the PPP loan scams, uh, where, people ended up doing decades in prison, getting decades worth of prison sentences because they were doing PPP loan scams. And so there are a lot of people that felt like, maybe, they're not working hard enough, or, maybe, somebody's got this magical, in to get some money. But then you realize that they had that Lamborghini for all of like 3 months and the government repossessed it. And now they're sitting in an orange jumpsuit trying to clench their butthole tight, trying to recite the famous idiom from the Boondocks when Tom Dubois took the kids to the local prison for the scare straight. My booty is mine. It belongs to me. You cannot take my booty. Now, those guys are living a real rough life trying to protect their buns. But you thought that you were a loser when they were driving a Lamborghini that they got from a PPP loan scam, right? That doesn't even make sense, right? So, never, judge, what you're doing, you know, by somebody else's standard. Just always make sure that you kind of get to know what the habits are of hardworking people who are successful, and try to find out how they did what they did And usually it'll be the same shit that works for everybody that's gotten their riches through moral uh, conduits. And that is hard work and work ethic over a long period of time. You know, just keep making good decisions, keep working hard, take care of the people around you, and stay consistent. And you will see success, whatever you think that success is. Whether it is you just wanting to lose weight, or you want to gain muscle, or you would like to drive a 718 Porsche Boxster in orange with a blue interior, like me. I would love to be able to earn the right to get a car like that. But for right now, there is a lot of work that I have to do in order to get there. And I'm not there yet, and I'm fine with that. So stay the course, people. You know, Catherine loses weight slowly. That's mostly everybody that does it the healthy way. You're going to lose weight slowly. Seditionalist says, I don't live in a communist country that does PPP handouts. Okay, so let me explain what the PPP loans were. They were loans, right? So let me explain it to you. So the US government created a program that was meant to keep the economy from collapsing. They can't have people get back to work after the lockdown if the businesses don't exist anymore. So what they did was they said, listen, we can't have mass layoffs and mass evictions because then we're going to have anarchy and we won't have a society anymore. So what we'll do is we will give you a loan that we could forgive if you meet these certain criteria as a business owner. So it was the PPP loans were not supposed to be for regular everyday citizens. The PPP loans were supposed to be for small and medium sized business owners to be able to hold on to their staff to keep them on payroll so that the business could survive the pandemic and they wouldn't have a bunch of people all thrown out in the street at the same time. So it was not a communist move. It was a move to prevent the virus from destroying the economy, and then by virtue of destroying the economy, destroying the country. So people pretended to be business owners because the oversight for the disbursement of the funds was not good. So people had a lot of trouble who were actual legitimate business owners. Like Catherine just said, Louis Rossman applied for the loans, but he applied for them too late because all the scammers jumped in ahead of the line. But the thing is, the government clawed back the money from the scammers and sent them to prison for decades. Some of these guys got 25 years in prison for the scams, right? But when the government clawed that money back, they didn't put that money back into the pool for legitimate businesses to take advantage of. They just clawed the money back, took it back, auctioned off all of the ill-gotten vehicles and mansions, and kept it moving. So, the PPP program did its job for the people that it could do its job for. But then for the scammers, they ended up in prison. And the people that actually needed the money that went to the scammers, they never got the money. Lewis Rossman was one of them, but he still kept the people on staff anyway. So shout out to him. So that was cool. Traditionalist says, can have all them people getting thrown out onto the streets in the midst of lockdown. People got to stay indoors. Yeah. And if people would have actually stayed indoors, we might have been able to slow the spread to a point where it would not have gotten the uh, the momentum that it got to then kill almost 8 million people around the world. So it would have been nice if people would have thought about their fellow man for 3 weeks. But because they couldn't do that and they were only thinking about themselves, we ended up locked down for, in some places, over a year. And it still killed millions of people. So the Rona even killed people that didn't contract the disease. So, that was a sad situation. But the point being is that a lot of people thought less of themselves because they were looking at scammers driving supercars, but they improperly judged themselves because they didn't know how these scammers got that money. So they judged themselves for no reason. So, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. Guys, keep working hard. Keep working hard every day. Uh I do think that you can, not everybody's going to get ahead, but you can find enjoyment in life. Not everybody is going to be able to, just make all the money and, be rich like, everybody wants to sell to you on the internet. But if you make a decent wage, you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, and you're around people that care about you, you can carve out a lot of happiness in this life. So, but if you happen to win the Powerball, take advantage of it. Spend money, save money, invest money, enjoy it. But if you're not one of the people that gets lucky to have your business idea, take off, or win the lottery, or you don't slip and fall on a billionaire's sidewalk or something. If that never happens to you, it's all good. You know, that's not really the stuff that's going to bring happiness to your life anyway. So I think that that's the message I got for you today. Traditionalist says, agreed. Same problem continues nowadays with those influencers. Yep. And you're starting to see a lot of these influencers go into prison now for scamming their viewers. I remember I heard about this one woman that was sentenced to prison. She pretended to have cancer and was collecting she pretended that she had two cancers. And people were watching her streams and they were donating money to fake charities that were going into her pocket. But then, of course, when you go viral, doctors watch TikTok too, right? And they were like, yeah, she's lying. And she ended up going to prison. That was crazy. But in Colombia, you could only leave when the last number of your section number matched up to that specific day. Miss out, and you had to wait 10 days. Yeah, that sucked. That whole era sucked for everybody except for me. I love being locked in my house, and I'm about to go and lock myself uh, in my house after I hit the gym for a second time. So thank all of you who always comes through my streams and come and shoot the shit with me. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. I have to go and get some more gains. Gotta go hit this chest workout. And yes, additionalist, you understand. Us introverted people, we enjoyed the lockdowns. The extroverted people wanted to kill themselves. uh, anyway, I'm up out of here. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you on Saturday or Sunday. I haven't decided which day I'm going to do that next leg day, but I'll see you for episode 185. Peace.